cinema is a whole other universe with its own rules, where stars are being born, fading away, the world of ideas and technologies, so inviting and accessible. We'll visit movie sets, film festivals and movie theaters to find out what makes contemporary Kazakh cinema. Kazakh cinematography as part of national culture in global context. Personalities and movies, fresh ideas and prospects for the development of movie industry. You can find out all about it in our new project, Cinema Life. International audience is mainly acquainted with films made in Kazakhstan through film festivals. Those are usually independent films. They don't have big budgets or expected to bring enormous profits. But these art house films are the ones representing Kazakhstan, creating an image of our country. In their works, authors are touching upon the most sensitive issues of Kazakhstani society to the world view of modern man. The film, directed by Serikbol Utepbergenov, Little Brother, was first presented in the main competition section of the Venice Film Festival in 2013. In the same year, the film earned Serik a Best Director award at the Eurasia Film Festival. But it wasn't until after 5 years when the film was first screened for Kazakhstani audience. The story of Yerkin, a 9-year-old boy, was born while Serikbol Utepbergenov was working on another film, The Rustle of Leaves. There was no place for Baur, neither in the budget nor in the project plan. When I finished both films, completed montage for both, I found out that the post-production budget was enough for only one movie. And they said, you can choose yourself which film to finish, but we don't have the money to complete both films. And I chose Baur.
Я выбрал Баур. Эй, мына қойды неге жалғыз қамап қойғансың?
Жақында қаладан ағам келеді. Соған қой сойып көршілерді шақырам.
Ал мынау деу құлыптың керегіне. Иттің басындай қып.
Басқа құлып таппадым.
Сыммен бойлай сал, кім алады қойыңды?
I lived in Aul until I was 10, says the director. I loved observing the life of my village. When I was a student at the Industrial Technical School, my younger brother was seeing me off to school. But what happens to Yerkin is a completely different story. The most important thing in every scene for me is what it brings out of you. There are scenes that don't provoke anything, don't even touch upon your personal experience. Such scenes are meaningless.
Қалайсыз?
Жақсы.
Бәрі жақсы ма? Өз жағдайыңыз қалай?
Жақсы шүкір.
Қалай жеттіңіз?
Жақсы жеттім.
How does one find a true story, a story people can relate to? Serikbol Utepbergenov has a way. He observes the surrounding life, completes a lot of reading, talks with people. I prefer listening to talking, says the director. He collects stories he overheard, unusual episodes from lives of ordinary people, curious facts. There is a wall in his office where he keeps these stories in writing. For example, there is a scene in Baur where the school principal plays pool. This image was inspired by the story I heard from one Georgian director. One day we were in Moscow having dinner, and he told me the story about his principal. Same with many other scenes. Serikbol Utepbergenov is sometimes called a people's director because every film he makes is about ordinary people from countryside. He is one of the brightest representatives of the Kazakh New Wave, the generation of filmmakers which was born in the 80s of the last century in Kazakhstan. A new sense of life, sincerity, turning into a bitter truth about reality, openness to the world. Those are the themes discussed and developed by young Kazakh filmmakers, graduates of the VGIK, particularly from Sergei Solovyov's workshop. Aprimov found his topic instantly. His graduation project, The Final Stop, was filmed in an almost documentary style. It depicted one day of the Kazakh village Aksuart, with its characters stuck in the black hole of the countryside, the tragic fate of the younger generation of Perestroika era. The official reaction to the film was negative. The director was even accused of denigrating Soviet reality. 4 years have passed since then, and Aprimov remained his true self.
У меня всегда одна тема.
I stick to one topic. I have this rule, an axiom. None of us will leave this world alive. Don't you agree? Hence, the main question I kept asking since my earliest years, how should one live his life? That's my main topic.
Я это еще в юности задавал. Как прожить эту жизнь? Вот главная тема моя.
So, how does the main character of the Bauer live his life? Yurkin is a sincere little boy with a pure heart, adhering to traditions and moral principles, despite the fact that everyone had left him. His mother died 5 years ago, father remarried and left to live in a neighboring village, and his elder brother studies in the city. He is surrounded by adults who are doing everything to make his difficult life even harder.
Ақшаны қалай қайтарасың?
Мен кірпіш сатам.
Сенің кірпішің қаншадан тұрады?
50 теңгеден.
Айына қанша табасың?
Айына 300 кірпіш құям, сонда 15 мың болады.
Ал мен қарызға ақшаны 30%-мен берем ғой, сен білесің бұны?
Айына ма, жоқ жылына ма?
Айына.
Ата, 10%-ға болмай ма?
10%. Саған бір жақсылық жасайын, ешкімге жасамаймын. 15%. Бола ма?
Я, болады.
Болса келістік, бара бер.
I wanted to destroy all his dreams. It was interesting for me to try and destroy everything. And his last illusion was his elder brother. He really worried about everything, you see. The same thing happens to his brother as well.
Саған не болды?
Төбелестім.
Кіммен?
Жігіттермен. Саняның үйін білесің ғой?
Я, білем.
Санядан қарыз сұраш, маған ақша керек.
Аға, қарызды қайтып қайтарасыз?
Шаруан қанша?
Мен сізге өткенде ғана кірпіштің ақшасын бердім ғой.
Ол ақша жоқ.
Сіз кетесіз, бірақ мен ол қарызды қалай төлеймін?
Ей, менен ақша артық па?
Ой.
Еркін.
Despite the total neglect from adults, the boy is trying to live in harmony with his conscience. He learned to survive on his own. He has a strong inner core, which he inherited from distant ancestors, a concept of honor, responsibility, and integrity. And even at the funeral of someone else's grandfather, it's your kin who takes on the debts of the deceased.
Егерде бірер күннен кейін біреу келіп, осы менде маған қарыз еді десе, араларыңыздан беретін адам табыла ма?
Жарайды. Сенің міндетің. Түсіндің бе? Бар.
Сен кім боласың?
Мен ғалым еркін болам.
Бірер күннен кейін бір кісі келіп, осы пенде маған қарыз еді деп айтса, сен соны мойныңа аласың ба?
Я, алам.
Естідіңіздер ғой?
Естідік.
То есть этот мальчик пытается...
That is, this boy is trying to resist everything that is happening around him, this degradation of morals, all by himself, remaining true to his values. This is my main message in the story, in portrayal of this boy.
Ассаламалейкум.
Уалейкумассалам.
Қай жаққа бара жатырсыз?
Тойға бара жатырмын.
Той қайда?
О, сұңқарда. Үч.
Apart from this inner core, a person must have faith. This is also a special power, faith in a miracle. The clown is like a miracle. The boy asks, "Where is the party?" He, the clown, replies, "In the neighboring village." He asks the second time, "Where is the party?" And he answers, "The party is wherever I go." Meaning, every person should be able to make a celebration out of his existence.
Ассаламағалейкум.
Уағалейкумассалам.
Қайдан келе жатырсыз?
Тойдан.
Қай жердегі той?
Мен жүрген жердің бәрі той ғой балам. Не болды?
Жай әшейін.
Бәрі дұрыс па? Ендеше, мынаны ала ғой.
No matter what is happening in the country, the people can go through everything to be reborn like a phoenix bird. One generation replaces another, and the nation is constantly being reborn. There will be no end to this process.
Не?
Ертең автобус қаншада жүреді?
Оны қайтпексің?
Сізді шығарып салайын деген ғой.
Мені шығарып салмай-ақ қой.
Енді адамдардан ят болады ғой. Олар не дейді?
Не дейді?
Мына баланың туысы жоқ деп ойлап қалады ғой.
Маған бәрібір.
Я сделал его наивным.
I made him naive. He is only 10 years old. This naivety is also a strength, because it helps a person to withstand the hardships. Any artist, any creative person should be naive to some extent.
В любом творческом человеке должна быть наивность.
Almat Galim plays the main role in the film, a boy named Yorkin. The film features actors Serikbol Utepbergenov, Alisher Aprimov, Murat Umarov, Dr. Jibek. The director set very strict requirements for the actors during the casting.
Я даже не могу сформулировать.
I can't formulate any rules for working with actors. To me, it's all very intuitive, at the level of emotion, at the level of human contact. But I know for sure whether the actor plays a negative or positive role in my film. I can't work with someone who I don't agree with in terms of morals, if I don't trust their judgment or their values are not compatible with mine. And there's nothing you can do about it. Therefore, I will only hire people I consider good, even for the role of the most notorious villains.
Ey bala, не отырсың?
Құлап қалдым.
Не болды?
Жай әшейін.
Жігіт емессің бе? Сүрт көзіңнің жасын. Біреу көрсе ұят болады.
Жарайды, аха.
Тұр, үйіңе бар.
Director Primov even makes a short cameo in the film, and it's done for a reason. He is on the protagonist's side, among those who are not afraid to challenge the consumer society, who is ready to fight the Philistine mindset. His characters are trying to remind their contemporaries about the meaning of life, about responsibility for their actions. That is why Serikbol Utebergenov's films have no borders. They are close and relatable to the viewer from any country in the world. While receiving an award in Santa Barbara, I was approached by an American guy. He said, "I watched your movie." He was an adult, 27 years old. He said, "At home, I always have conflicts with my brother, who is 10 years younger than me. He keeps asking me to take him to the World Cup in Brazil. I keep refusing and tell him that I don't want to. After your film, I decided to do it, because there will be no other time. I decided to do something. I asked him, why? He replied, I felt the urge to do something before it's too late.
Пока не поздно.
Film industry of the world has spawned many superhero characters. Most of them are the fruit of the imagination of Hollywood filmmakers. The audience needs these heroes. Who doesn't dream of having a superpower, valor and strength that crushes the enemy? But it is real-life heroes and acts of courage during real-life events that get more of the audience's trust. That is the reason why military dramas and action movies will always be interesting to the viewer. Serikbol Utepbergenov's film The Sixth Post had premiered on the screens of Kazakhstani cinemas. This is the first military drama in the history of the film production of independent Kazakhstan about people serving in the National Guard of Kazakhstan. We are not thinking about any sort of propaganda. We were thinking about our audience. The format we chose was not a Hollywood blockbuster. I wanted to create and show a story about a human, a real person.
Что делать, если среди заключенных я своего знакомого увидел?
Действуй по инструкции. Шестой пост. Запомни его навсегда.
The film was created by the production company AU Film with the support of the Ministry of Information and Communications of the Republic of Kazakhstan and the Habar Agency. The idea of the film was proposed by the leadership of the National Guard of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The film is based on events which occurred 8 years ago in Aktau, in one of the prison colonies. This event took place on the 22nd of June 2010. 2 convicts fled at 4 in the morning. You know, this date is very memorable for people born in the Soviet Union. It is perceived very badly. That was the day when the Great Patriotic War began. The convicts made a conscious choice to escape on this day at 4 o'clock in the morning. Action! The Sixth Post. A group breakout of inmates. Freeze! Go back! Freeze! I'll shoot! A group of convicts calculated everything. The breakout was unexpected. They organized the escape in advance. However, they didn't consider one thing: the courage and heroism of a young soldier, Private Yerbol Otarbayev, who stood on the post number 6. Thanks to him, the insidious plan of convicts was foiled. Here is the action. Bam, bam, run. We need to film a lot with Yerlan for this scene. And then we'll continue with the scene where he shoots at those climbing over the fence. We have now completed shooting one small episode where our hero first enters the tower. This is his workplace. And now we are preparing for the next scene, where a large group of prisoners are attempting to escape. We've got about 100 people as extras for this scene. Some of them will turn back, but most of the radical elements will pass through the fence, reach the vehicles and escape. Azamat Ayjanov adapted the real story for the screenplay. In the script, there is love and rivalry, friendship and betrayal. This film is about loyalty and delusions of the younger generation. We have 2 main characters. The first one is Yerlan, who is standing on the tower. The second is Dauren, who is serving time in the prison. They are friends who grew up together. They were friends ever since they were little, but they happen to appear on opposite sides of the barbed wire. One is serving the country, the other is serving time. Жасұлан Омирбек plays the role of Davren. Sanurjan Suleymanov, an actor, is the one portraying Yerlan, a character inspired by a real-life person, Serikbol Utepbergenov. This is his first role in military patriotic film genre. The actor doesn't have an experience of serving in the army. Therefore, he had to learn the basics of the army service as soon as possible. Sanurjan took an almost month-long young soldier training in the barracks among the National Guard servicemen. I plunged into the atmosphere of loyalty, where duty and honor are above all things. I met a lot of people who are worth of being set as an example. Behind any high-quality product, there is an enormous work of people who contributed to the creation of the film. Young actors had a lot to learn: how to take the post, when and how to use weapons, how to behave in a complicated situation on duty. Coaches and consultants of the National Guard provided them with training, passing on these military skills to the actors. They worked with the actors on every scene of the film on the set. Even if you are shot, you've already warned them and you are working here. Don't shoot to that side at all. This is the forbidden zone. It's not your area. If you shot him while he is on the fence and he falls back inside and not outside, you'll be put to jail. The film involves military equipment, military facilities, and a large number of extras. Special Forces soldiers and servicemen of the National Guard of the Republic of Kazakhstan are also involved in the shooting. Only professionals can carry out the combat missions faced by the heroes of those dramatic events. According to the script, 21 convicts had escaped, but in reality there were much more. Private Serikbol Utepbergenov had only 20 bullets. We were very lucky when it happened. Lucky in the sense, well, I guess we are thankful to some forces from above. When Serikbol Utepbergenov started shooting, he managed to kill those two who were supposedly leading the operation. Two convicts who knew exactly where to lead this large group. The sixth post. Group breakout of convicts. Freeze! Go back! Stop! I'll shoot! Our film is showing people who deceive others by using their weakness. These people are basically created in prisons. A person goes to prison and he goes through this brainwashing. He leaves the prison as some sort of a zombie. This film is about the opposition of society to the challenges of the modern world. The immature part of youth is subject to the influence of the extremist religious movements. In the sixth post, the civil is personified by Azad, the leader among the prisoners, preacher of radical Islam. I wasn't particularly occupied with assessing morals during the development of my character. His main objective is recognition. He pushes his authority onto others, wishes to be worshipped. His aim is to be respected as the leader of the wolf pack. He wants to survive in any circumstances. In addition to the full-length film, there will be a TV series broadcasted on the state television channel Habar. New films about the real heroes of the Kazakh army will be screened this year as well. During the years of independence of the young state, 22 servicemen were killed on duty. Over 150 soldiers were awarded medals and orders for their heroism and courage. This film was made for our citizens, and first and foremost for the younger generation. Through this film, I wanted our youth to see and realize that this is our homeland, the independent Republic of Kazakhstan, and that it must be protected. And to protect your country, you need to be a true patriot.